is very special. This is the first time we are organizing a session on the chakras and the energy centers in our body. How many of you have felt that irrespective of how hard you work, your financial condition never improves? If this is true for you, please type me in the chat box. Or if you feel that irrespective of how hard you try, your relationship with your spouse or your parents, siblings just doesn't improve. How many of you feel isolated, lonely, with nobody to talk to? Please type me in the chat box if any of these statements resonate with you. Or irrespective of how hard you work in your career, the promotions don't come your way. How many of you would like to improve your immunity and health? Thank you, Deepthi. Friends, please be honest and share your responses. That will help us take the session forward. And do you wonder what is the reason why you don't get what you are seeking in life, irrespective of how hard you try? Anybody would like to share what is it? What could be the reason that you don't get the love or the financial prosperity or the success in career or business or good health that you're seeking? What could be some of the reasons? Please unmute yourself and speak or type in the chat. Friends, we are a relatively small group today, so we would appreciate if you keep this interactive, as this will help us get the best out of the session today, which could be life-changing for you.
Yeah, maybe. Hi, this is Deepthi, and good evening to everyone.
Yes.
So maybe it is because we are not putting the right effort in the right place, and maybe chakra is one of the reasons which I find could be blocked. So this could be the reason.
Thank you for sharing that, Deepthi. That is very true. Our actions are not aligned with our intentions. That is one of the reasons why we don't get the results. Another reason is because our energy is blocked, like this knotted pipe. In this, irrespective of how much water you put from one side, it's never going to get out to the other side. And we may feel that we are trying and trying and trying, but we are not getting what we are looking for in life. And that is what the intention about our session today is, to understand what the energy chakras are and how do we unblock, how do we identify what is blocking the flow of energy and what is it that we can do to let the energy flow freely, and that will help us get what we want. For everything that we want in life corresponds to one of the energy centers that we have, and that is what we're going to talk about in the session today. The session is taken by Dr. Nupur. She's a medical doctor with specialization in oral medicine and radiology. She's worked very closely with the NHS hospital, with the cancer patients in NHS hospital for last 5 years. And her research has been published in international journals, and that has won awards. She's also a certified Reiki master. Dr. Nupur, welcome to the session.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ashish. And thanks everybody for joining. It's looking forward to a wonderful 1 hour with you all.
Thank you. And how many of you are joining the session for the first time? If you're joining the session for the first time, please type FT in the chat box. Hello, Shilpa. Okay. All right. So friends, those who are joining us for the first time, I'll take a minute to introduce myself. My name is Ashish Kumar, And I started Mindful Living in 2018 after working in the corporate sector for over 25 years in senior management roles with organizations like Tata Group, HCL, and Babar Group. In the last 4 years, we have been working actively with the corporate sector, training their employees, leading healthier, happier, and wealthier lives. We have conducted more than 280 sessions for leading organizations like Aditya Birla Group, Tata Group, IBM, CII, Swiggy, EXL, Schneider, Signify, and many more. The session today is a part of the community initiative, which we started in April 2020, when a few of the friends reached out to me with help in dealing with their emotions of anxiety and uncertainty, which were hovering due to the lockdown that had just been imposed. And, one thing led to the other. And over the 2 years period, that group of 10 people who initially got together has grown to now 3,000 people. And we connect every weekend to practice different aspects of application of mindfulness in our daily lives. Before we move on, I would urge you to state your intention for the session today. This will help you get the best out of the session. Please type in the chat box, what is your intention? What do you expect to learn from the session today? And you could also unmute yourself and speak. While we are waiting for your responses, I would like to share that today's session is not a podcast, so please keep your cameras on and stay engaged with the speaker. Use the reactions button in the taskbar to show love to the speaker, to show thumbs up if something resonates with you, and stay engaged on the chat. We'll be taking question answers towards the end, but keep sharing your comments on the chat. Also, this is not a TV show which you can relax, lie back, and enjoy. Please be actively engaged, take notes. And on that note, I will invite Dr. Nupur to take the session forward. We will have some free resources to share with you towards the end of the session. So please stay connected with us till the end. Over to you, Dr.
Hello. Hello. Yeah. Thank you, Ashish. Thank you so much. I must mention that Ashish is recovering from a flu and not feeling 100%. And yet he is hosting and doing a fabulous job at it as always. So thank you so much, Ashish. And wish you a very healthy recovery. And maybe you can have some takeaways from the session today on chakras. That will help you also to heal. All right. Wonderful.
Happy morning.
Happy morning, sir. Happy morning.
How are you?
I'm very well, sir.
The name Nupur is very hot in Indian media nowadays.
Yes, I realize that. Very controversial, isn't it? Yes. All right. So while I am putting up the presentation, it'd be nice to just get some more responses in the chat about what everybody is looking to achieve today by the session. What are your expectations? And just pop in the chat, and every now and then I'll have a look at the chat, and Ashish will also remind me if there is a very pertinent question to be taken at the point where I am presenting. All right, wonderful. So with that, let us begin the session today. It is a talk on energy centers, and a lot of us know them as chakras. So today we are going to be focused on what really chakras are and how do they impact our well-being. Like, we have all heard of chakras, but do they really have an impact on our emotional aspect, on our relationships, on our interactions, on our growth, and on our finances? So that's where we are going to be taking the talk in that direction today. Before we talk about chakras, we must understand that chakras actually are a part of our energy body. It's a part of our subtle body. It's not really something that we can probably find on an X-ray or an MRI machine when we go and get our body scanned. This is a part of our energy system. So really asking ourselves the question, what is energy? Who are we? Right? That's very important to understand. And now we know as a proof, whether it is from quantum physics or whether it is from all the scientific evidence that we have, that we are not just matter. We are more energy than matter. So all aspects of our being are, whether let's go to the subatomic particle, the cell, and understand that our cells are actually 99.99% space and energy. Because now we have understood that every subatomic particle that exists inside our atoms, which makes up, and we have trillions of cells that make us up, we are a multicellular organism at the physical level. And so all these electrons and everything is existing actually as a wave function. They are existing as vibrations and energy. And by that, we have something now that scientists have discovered, that our hearts are very, very strong organs that produce electromagnetic waves. And this is a beautiful picturization of that electromagnetic energy that surrounds all of us. So this is what we call a toroidal field. And our cells are emitting these, our organ systems, our various chakras are emitting these vibrational fields. So this is something that we must understand before we go into the depths of what chakras really are. They are a part of our subtle energy body systems. And there are many chakras that we have. The numbers keep differing from one literature to the other, from one source of information to another, but we do have around 112 to 114 chakra centers for sure. And many more chakras are also getting discovered every time we are going deeper into the quantum awareness that we are. Because now we are understanding that there is so much that is unknown about even our energy centers. Today, for the sake of ease and understanding and application, because my intention is to make it very application based for us, because we hear of chakras at our spiritual, from our spiritual teachers. We hear of in Hindu philosophy, in Indian structure, we hear it very, very commonly used, but it is unfortunately a very, very poorly understood system of energy. So a parallel that we find is in the traditional Chinese medicine, the TCM, which we are very commonly aware of as acupressure, acupuncture points. So somehow we are more aware of that than, and it works beautifully. But we also perhaps should know as much about our own energy centers and how that can help us to heal and restore balance in the body. And that is my intention for what we are talking about. So we will start with the basic 7 chakras. And as I'm going to be talking about them, we will understand their impact. But just so you know that we are doing a workshop on chakras, and everything that I'm going to be talking about, plus more chakras, are going to be talked about in much more depth in that workshop, but I'm doing my best to cover every aspect of it today. So a lot of us may not know that these 7 chakras are what are creating a deep impact on our physical body, right? And these chakras, as I said, are present in the subtle body. Chakras is a word that has its meaning in English language called wheels. It's vortices of energy. It's like a vortex. If you know a vortex, it has a center and it goes around, and it kind of surpasses each center, intermingles with each other. Each center influences other centers, and also our physiology. What do we mean by physiology? Our body structure, our organs. So today, as I'm going to be talking about, I'm going to go take you deeper into that aspect. Just to talk very briefly on the chakras, we have something which is the root chakra. The root chakra is the Muladhara chakra. It is the foundational chakra which is located around the base of our tailbone, which is at the bottom of our spine. So if we have a spine, we have something called just below the spine, or we call it the tailbone. That's where the location has been identified of the root chakra. Swadhisthana, or the sacral chakra. It is 2 inches below the navel, right? And it is just above the root chakra. We have solar plexus, which is 2 inches above this navel region, or also called the Manipura chakra. And all the chakras, as you are noticing in this chart, have a color. That's very important for us to know that color vibrations are very powerful in healing the body as well. And why is that? Because colors are associated with our chakra system, with our energy centers. And each of them, it is believed that the chakras actually exist in triangular form. From a lot of psychics and studies that we're going to be talking about, we have understood that they're actually triangular shaped. But the vibrations that they create, because they're energy fields, or the vortices that they create, are actually in the form of circles. So probably you may have noticed that if you throw a triangular stone in a still pond, the waves that stone will create, the waves that pebble will create, are not triangular. They'll be always circular, right? So that's why we are perceiving these as centric whirlpools of energy or vortices, and hence the name as chakras. Anahata, or the heart chakra, which is located in the center of our chest, right? And then we have the throat center, which is almost at the base of our neck. And the Agya chakra, or the third eye chakra, which is at the center of our eyebrows. And we have got the crown chakra, which is on the top. There are other chakras also, which are beyond our crown center and below the root chakra, which we are going to be talking in depth about. But these are the 7 chakras, which are the most important chakras of the body. And then our palms and our hands have chakra systems. So our hands, at the tip of our fingers, we have very, very important chakras, and also in the center and here. Now, this was something very interesting that I found when I was researching this for the purpose of the webinar today. And if you understand that traditionally, a lot of Indian women wear bangles, right? And we have bangles here. And a lot of times I have heard this even spoken in ancient traditions in villages, that the bangles actually are serving a very important purpose. They're activating our root chakras. And that's what I heard in one of my village. This is when I was posted as a doctor. I was doing some, I remember it was a village camp that we had set up for oral cancer detection. And one of the elderlies of the village gifted me as a doctor a set of bangles. And she said, it's really healthy for you to wear bangles because that activates your Mooladhara. And at that point in time, I was a very, very clinical doctor. I had no idea of mind-body medicine. I was very young in my career. And when I remembered that, actually, I said, that's so true, because we have to activate various chakras in the body. And that's why, without even knowing the power of our ancient practices, they are somehow activating a lot of parts of our body and our chakra system. Now, let us experience, before we dive deeper into the chakras, I want you to experience something very magical with your palm chakras. So I'm going to ask you to rub your hands together and perhaps even clap them. You're all muted. So go ahead and clap. And the way you are clapping them, I want you to make sure that all the hands are coming, all the aspects of hands are coming in contact. The palm, the fingers, and the tips. So just do this kind of a moment. So what we are doing here, we are activating these chakras. And now once you have rubbed your hands together, I want you to close your eyes. Well, I'm going to stop sharing just for a moment so you can see all of you. And I want you to now hold your hands like a slight cup shaped, and bring it together, slightly together. Yeah, like touching the fingers. And I want you to, as if you're holding them in this form, and I want you to breathe into your palms and breathe out of your palms. Perfect. Breathe into your palms and breathe out of your palms, right? And I'm now going to ask you slowly to look at me and part your palms gently. And just be focused on the energy between your palms. Keep bringing them closer, please. Keep bringing them apart. And just focus if you can feel any energy, any vibration between your palms. Mentally, you can imagine as if there is a ball of energy between your palms. You can bring them closer and bring them apart and start sensing if you can feel a pull and push, any vibration, keeping your fingers together. Absolutely, as if you have a ball in your hands. Notice if there's any tingling, any pull and push. Wonderful. And now just share with me if you could actually feel an intensity of energy there. Anybody wants to unmute, you want to share in the chat? I'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, we are able to.
I can feel the energy flow.
Very interesting. Anybody else?
Me too, Dr. Nupur.
Yes, me too.
Wonderful. So this, maybe I'll request everybody to mute themselves again, please. Yeah. Somebody said that they could feel a magnetic effect. Absolutely. You know, some of us may just feel a bit of a tingling sensation. Some of us may feel warm, and the more intuitive we become, the more we practice it, we'll start feeling this magnetic pull, because we have very powerful chakras in our hands and our fingertips. Without knowing this, subconsciously, because we are born as humans, we know this. And that's why a lot of times when children get hurt, what we do, we put a hand lovingly at the point where they got hurt. Or we sometimes just lovingly put our hands on their heads to give the love to them. That's because we are always channeling a lot of energy towards them, right? So now that you've experienced it yourself, you can actually feel the electromagnetic pull that I was talking to you about in our own hands. And we don't have to be healers or Reiki masters to experience that. Wonderful. So going forward with the presentation, I'm going to straight deep dive into the importance of chakras and energy centers, because believe it or not, they are actually impacting our organ systems, our biochemistry, and our physiology, the chemicals that we are producing, the hormones that are going through our body, and also to understand that each chakra, you know, let me go on top, each chakra has almost got nerve plexuses associated with it. Like we are called, what are nerve plexuses? These are aggregation of neural networks, or neurons get aggregated. And we are noticing in the body, wherever these chakras are, there is an aggregation of nerve plexuses there. That means every plexus has a brain, has a mind associated with it. That means these chakras are actually associated with different neural patterns. So what we are thinking, feeling, and engineering is affecting each chakra or each energy center. We have something like inferior mesenteric plexus. We have something called the solar plexus. We have got something called the heart plexus, superior mesenteric plexus. Without making it sound too technical, what I want you to understand is the body is far more magical than we think it is. And all of these things are very, very interrelated. So the chakras are actually impacting our nerve plexuses in various aspects of the body. So coming down to the chakras and imbalances, right? Now, each chakra has an associated emotional. How do we know that our chakras are out of alignment? We will know that our chakras are out of alignment when we understand that every chakra has an impact on our emotions, and it has an impact on the physical aspect of our body. So now that we are working in the mind-body medicine field, we are recognizing that every condition that we are noticing in people have got associations with their emotions, right? Deep emotional baggage, deeply suppressed emotions, inability to express emotions, and the chakra systems associated with them. And also, all chakras have got a vibration, a very specific frequency, and a vibrational signature. It's almost like we know something called biometrics has come across, which we didn't even know of before 15 years. Iris scans, thumb impressions. All of our body has a vibration and a frequency. Similarly, all of our chakras have a vibration and a frequency, and sound associated with them, and color associated with them. Today, for the sake of understanding, I want you to note that all the chakras have got some emotions associated with them. Now, talking about root chakra, which is called the Mooladhara chakra. Now, Mool and Adhar are Sanskrit words, right? They are the foundations. It's called the foundation of your life. These are very foundational chakras. This is where it's almost like the basement the foundation of a building. We cannot construct a multi-story building without digging deep into the earth, because the foundation is the key aspect. Now, when our root chakra gets out of alignment, what we are noticing is that a person feels a deep sense of fear, a deep sense of insecurity, financial insecurity, relationship insecurity, and generally feeling a deep sense of uprootedness. They're not feeling a sense of rootedness in their life. And also because root chakra and also sacral chakra are very close to our reproductive system, our sexual organs. A lot of times we are noticing that people who have imbalances in the body, whether it's to do with constipation or whether it's to do with sexual health, inability to conceive, inability to have a libido, and you know, a lot of these things are associated with root and sacral chakra problems. Also, a lot of times the blockage of root chakra is creating leg problems, feet problems, pain in the back, lower back pain, irritable bowel syndrome. And these chakras, because these are energy systems, they are not physical things, they are impacting each other. So sacral chakra is so close to the root chakra that emotional imbalances of guilt, shame, you know, creative blocks get very densely associated with sacral chakra. And we are noticing that people who have very high anxiety challenges, social anxiety, generalized anxiety disorders, or general performance anxiety with anything, addictive behaviors, a lot of times we are seeing imbalances in that space. And also, I have Ashish mentioned this, but it's really worth repeating that towards the end of the presentation, we are going to be sharing some free resources with you all. And one of the free resources is talking about the medical and the scientific evidence of all of this. That how do we know this is happening, right? And I'm going to go into a lot more detail about that in the workshop that I'll talk about towards the end. But even if you are here just for the talk today, it's really worth understanding all of this has got deep scientific evidence now, right? And that's why we are Reiki, as a Reiki practitioner, I'm a Reiki master. We have teams of Reiki in many hospitals in the UK now. The National Health Services in UK is supporting complementary therapies, and the patients are receiving Reiki and other energy modalities to help them heal and recover from all sorts of challenging situations, including cancer, in which I have a specialty in, right? Anxiety disorders, I talked about, urinary problems, back problems are all associated with sacral chakra. Now, a lot of times we have feelings of guilt and shame, which are a part of our human experience. We may have done something we are very guilty of. We may have, or sometimes we are just shameful for something we did many, many years ago. Now, the problem is because we are not processing our emotions. Nobody taught us to express and manage our emotional intelligence. So what happens? All of these emotions get trapped in the body, creating energy blockages. And once we are seeing these energy blockages, they are manifesting in a lot of imbalances and disorders. And not only are these now we know from traditional Chinese medicines, we know this from kinesiology studies, a lot of other things, we are able to actually check the vibration and calculate the vibration of this, right? Now, that's the important thing, but nobody's really understanding that the chakra system that we have, which is very, very powerful in our bodies, is also getting blocked. It's something like, imagine you have a four-wheeler or a two-wheeler for that matter. If anything comes in the middle of the spokes of a cycle wheel, and the wheel of the cycle is not able to rotate and revolve, the vehicle is not able to move forward, right? So that's what happens when we have unprocessed and difficult situations in our life. These energies get trapped and they cause these energy vortices, which we call as energy centers, to clamp down, to shut down, right? And that's when they manifest in a lot of disorders. Because I was talking to you about nerve plexuses associated with each center, and hormones every chakra has glands associated with it. We have ovaries in female reproductive system. We have testes in male, and we have adrenal glands, which are on top of our renal or kidneys, right? Now we are seeing that all these chakras are actually impacting the secretions of these endocrine glands. These are called endocrine glands, right? Solar plexus is something that is 2 inches above our navel, and it is the seat of our ego, of our power, of our self-esteem. So when we are feeling a lack or a sense of complete shutting down, contraction in our energy field, when we are feeling that I have no will to live my life or I have no willpower to perform, that's when our solar plexus completely closes down. And that's what we are noticing. Even as a Reiki channel, I can feel and I can check and sense the aura. But my intention is that all of us can do this. You don't have to be a healer or associated with any particular modality to be able to do that. We can, through awareness, attention, and meditation, access all these chakras. And solar plexus is also associated with our relationships. It's something that when we are having challenges with our relationships, and when I'm talking about challenges, I'm not talking about animosity or hatred or bitterness. I'm talking about day-to-day interactions with people who are we living with also. And when I'm talking about relationships, it's not just about something that's wrong. A sense of overprotection, over helicopter parenting, being very involved, being obsessive about the people that you love, that is also an imbalance. Now, we in chakra work, in energy work, we actually do something very powerful at solar plexus level. We do something like cord cutting. These are the cords which a child is born with a mother. There is something called the umbilical cord. But when we have come out and we have been birthed by our mothers, the energy connection still remains, not just with our mother, with everybody. We have a tendency to connect these energy cords at the navel region with other people, right? And that's why solar plexus is so important when we are talking about relationship challenges. So if you're going through a relationship challenge, then that's the space where you need to look at and see how is my solar plexus. It's got the sunlight color. It's as vibrant as the sunlight, it's got that yellow color. And also root chakra. Now in root chakra, something that's really powerful is grounding. Understanding grounding, we have to understand that we do meditations where we see the connection between ourselves and the earth, and we anchor ourselves in that space. The more we can do grounding, the more we can expand the chakras. They're almost like, if you can imagine a tree, and the tree has roots growing down from the base of it. That's what's keeping it in place and anchoring it, perhaps through centuries. Trees have survived centuries. We know that some of them are so ancient. Now, like that, our root chakra can be energetically made to go down, expand, and go deeper to anchor us, to help us heal. Now, all of these techniques are what we're going to be going into much more detail, but it's worth your while to even know them right now. Now, solar plexus is very, very deeply associated with our digestive system. Right? A lot of us have got gastritis, gastric chronic acidity challenges. And a lot of that is also come because we have inability to process emotions, inability to express emotions, right? So all of that happens when we have blockages in our solar plexus system. Diabetes, blood sugar challenges. The more people are doing, everybody talks about, doing yoga, which is, by the way, yoga is a big part of chakra system. It really helps us to expand and go deeper into the chakras and balancing them out. But no matter how much of anything you are doing, you could be drinking health juices, you could be eating all the kale and broccoli in the world to detox the body. Unless we are noticing and unblocking our chakra systems, to some extent, our health will never be able to come on an even keel. In fact, there is a study that was done by one of the pioneers, and she studied the aura and the auric field of cancer patients. And these are very, very advanced instruments and machines that we have through which we can study these. And she was saying that not even one of the patients and the clients she was working with had a whole aura when they were having any chronic health issue, including cancer. Now you have to understand that when we talk about our auric field or our energy field, all of these chakras, because they are vortices of energy, they are emitting light and vibration, and that's what's constituting your aura. So if I can go back to this slide again, do you notice that every chakra has a color, and this image is surrounded by light going very close to the physical body, but that is what is enveloping the body. It's almost like cocooning the body in the form, and that's what is creating your aura, right? Now, these things, maybe 15 years ago, people would say are all hogwash, that there is no scientific evidence. But now we have machines to record our electromagnetic radiation. You can go and Google and research HeartMath Institute. It's a California-based institute, if I'm not mistaken. They are doing groundbreaking research in recognizing the electromagnetic radiation of the heart center, which we just saw in the first image, right? It's called the coherence of the heart center. That's creating a very strong electromagnetic field around us. So when we are having challenges, whether it's financial, whether it's existential, people who are suicidal, people who have relationship issues, financial issues, we must understand that our energy systems have got deeply impacted. Coming to the fourth chakra, which is the heart chakra. It is in the center of the heart, and people who have got massive problems in expressing their love. Expressing, and love doesn't just mean only a man-woman love or a mother-child love. Love has many aspects to it. Love has compassion. Love has empathy. Love has ability to receive. People who are just giving but not receiving. People who are inability to move beyond grief. You may have had somebody pass on in your life. You may have lost a loved one, but you're not able to move beyond your grief. You're still wallowing and really, really clammed up and contracted. That's heart chakra blockage. For people who have got such strong sense of hatred and bitterness that they are not able to forgive and let go. And forgiveness and letting go is a whole different aspect that we're going to go much deeper into. But unable to even forget about people who have caused you harm, that is a complete blockage of our heart center, heart chakra, right? And that manifests in a lot of our inability to even lungs get affected by heart chakra. And at this point, I want to really share an incident that happened very recently. It was in the international media. There was a very, very sad shooting that happened in a primary school in the US, in Texas. You may have heard of it. It just happened 3 weeks back, if I'm not wrong. Along with students, I think two teachers had passed away in that shooting. And for one of the teachers who passed away in the shooting, her husband died of a heart attack within a week or maybe 2-3 days of her passing. Now, what is that telling us? Grief can kill, right? Pain, sadness, remorse, grief are all killers. And why did that happen? Obviously, because he had a heart attack. So do you understand the impact of our emotions on our energy field, creating something as extreme and terminal as death? Yeah. So I really want you to understand that when we are hearing news and understanding these things that are happening around us, ask yourself relevant questions. How could pain and grief cause something like that? That means there's something deeper than just we call heart conditions triple vessel diseases, because we have got 3 major vessels which are supplying the muscles of the heart. But that goes to show that heart diseases, hypertension, asthma, a lot of people have asthma, right? They have chronic lung challenges. A lot of them come from these imbalances and these blockages in our systems. Throat chakra, inability to express yourself. People who can't voice their opinion. A lot of people can't say what they want to say. They can't express. And when I'm saying can't express, you don't have to wage a war or make somebody feel small to express your point of view. You can say that in a gentle way. But a lot of people cannot speak their own voice out. They can't express, and that clamps down their throat chakra. They have no creativity in them. They don't have ability to speak the truth because they're so fearful, and that's complete throat chakra blockage. I worked with a client who was a singer, and she had the most amazing God blessed voice, and she was a classical singer, but she was not able to freely sing and perform on stage. She used to clamp down and she used to perennially have a sore throat. You know, the body manifests problems, and there is a deeper aspect to it, which we call our subconscious mind. When we tell our subconscious mind that I am in a survival mode, that I am in a deep state of fear, the subconscious mind says, I don't want you to die, so I will create a challenge in your body so that you don't have to do something which is making you fearful. Singing on the stage was making her fearful, so she used to develop sore throat, and so funnily, just 2 days before her performance. And that's when we started working on her throat chakra. That thing started to improve, and it took her 6 months. But now she is giving international performances, right, in classical music. So that's the power of understanding how deeply our throat, our ability to speak gets impacted, right? Thyroid challenges start to happen. And throat chakra also takes care of our other glands here, which are very important for immunity building, right? It's called the thymus gland. So thyroid, thymus are both in the jurisdiction of our throat chakra. That's what's keeping its balance. So immunity, we have all gone through a pandemic. We know how important our immunities are. So throat chakra, along with our heart chakra, has a key role to play in our immunity. Third eye chakra, again, a point a lot of times where we have seen traditionally women in many parts of the world wear bindis, right? It goes right here. That has a very deep scientific and energetic implication. It actually activates our energy Agna center. It's called either Ajna or Agya center here. It's a way of activating that center. A lot of times we even tap here. It's also one of the energy meridian points in traditional Chinese medicine when we practice emotional freedom technique. A very, very powerful point here. It is, people call it third eye. I call it the first eye. It's not a physical eye, but it's an inner knowing. It's your inner perception. It's your ability to go beyond the five senses. It is tapping into your intuitive abilities. So a lot of times when that is blocked, people develop an ability to move forward. They cannot envision a future. They become very narrow focused. It's almost like a horse with the blinkers. They cannot see, they become so myopic that they can't see beyond their problems and challenges at hand, right? And they develop also physical issues. A lot of times migraine problems I've seen, specifically with the blocked third eye chakra, eye problems tend to happen a lot because of that. Dizziness. And I would also go on to add that mental health challenges of depression, stress are associated not just with root chakra and sacral chakra, but also with our third eye chakra. You know, we almost close down to possibilities of life, not in connection with our spirit sense, our essence, and with life in general. Yeah. And then we talk about crown chakra, which is just right at the top of the head here. It is our connection with the cosmos. It's our connection with the universal field of energy and intelligence. Now we have to understand we don't have to be a religious person to believe in, I'm not talking about only God. If you believe in God, that's amazing. But if you're not believing in a universal higher power, then I would ask you to challenge that belief of yours, because nothing in this world have we consciously created. It has been the most important things, whether it's the environment, the air, the gravity, the trees, even our own physical bodies are something we have inherited. Our genes we have inherited. So our connection with the cosmos and with the universal intelligence, unless we establish that, we cannot be in harmony. You know, I talked about a toroidal field that's running through us, and that was in the first slide, that comes from the top, it goes down, and then it kind of creates a toroidal field. Now that intelligence, that field is what we need to be in alignment with within as chakras and with the universal intelligence. So unless we are doing that, we are not going to live a life of our maximum potential. We are not going to recognize our limitless nature. Who are we? Who am I? All of that is our connection with our spiritual aspect, with our universal aspect. And that's what connects us. We are connected with each other, not only through our heart center, but also through our crown center, because that goes into a dimension of oneness and spirituality, right? So when our crown is blocked, we have complete disconnect with everything around us. We become suicidal many times. We feel a sense of deep neurological disorders, psychotic disorders set in, and a sense of personality dissociation start to happen. So all of these things, friends, I wanted to share with you, have our chakra systems have got a deep impact on our emotional and physical aspect and our well-being, right? I want to talk about this workshop that we have talked. We are launching very soon on balancing and blessing these energy centers or the chakras. This workshop is going to be happening very soon. But and I also want you to keep your questions handy if you want to ask any of the questions regarding chakras. Please keep them handy. We'll take all the questions towards the end. Also, you can write them in the chat. Before I go into the depths of the workshop, I'm going to do a very quick demonstration with all of you, right? I'm going to just quickly ask you to look at me. I may not be able to do this because if I turn back, my voice will go. What we are going to do, all of us here, is that I'm going to ask you to bring your thumb in front of you, right? You can stand and do this. I need to sit for the sake of the mic. You bring your hand in front of you, fully stretched, thumb in front, and then you're going to turn back fully. You're going to keep your feet in the right place. You're just going to turn from your torso and see to the maximum point behind you how much the finger can go, right? So here, and then we are going to take the finger back and mark the point on the wall. Just energetically mark the point and notice to what extent you're going back. So let's all of us do that very quickly. Look, yeah, hand in front, take it, thumb back and see and note the point as much as it's going back. And now bring your hands back. And now I want you to put your hands on your heart center and think of something that you really, really love. Think of something that you really, really love. It could be a sunset, a sunrise, it could be a person, it could be an animal, a dog, a kitten. And really feel that love opening up in your heart. Feel your heart center opening up. And say the words in your heart, I love you. I bless you. Take 3 deep breaths and just tap into that love. I love you. May you be blessed. May you be happy. And if it's sun, then you can just thank the sun, thank the flower. And now just feel that love energy through you. Taking a deep breath in. And now, once again, open your eyes, put your hands in front, stand up again. And now go back and see how far the thumb is going and see if it has changed or not. You had gone to your maximum potential the last time, and now having done this exercise, I want you to go back and check. And now tell me, has it moved? Did anybody feel a widening of that space?
Yes, more widening it went, Dr. Nupur. Yeah.
I also got it. Amazing.
See, that is the impact on the a second of activation of your heart chakra and how energetically the body could expand. Now, I don't need to say anything more than that because you felt it and you experienced it yourself, right? So who is this workshop aimed towards? Anybody who wants to understand the energy field of the body. Anybody who wants to understand how to go beyond the mind-body complex into something deeper that's impacting us physically, emotionally. Chronically stressed individuals, people who have had massive relationship issues, or who are still struggling with and niggling day-to-day problems in their life. If you're feeling ungrounded and trapped in your life, if you're having suicidal tendencies, right? And anybody who wants to develop their sixth sense and intuition, because the moment you are able to develop your intuition and sixth sense, you will fly. Right? And the aims and the objectives are what we have been discussing. We are going to go into the depths of each chakra. Each chakra system will be dealt with from the level of affirmations, from sound, from visualization, because the way we activate chakras is through intention, attention, and awareness, and through doing deep exercises. So you will be your own healer. You'll be able to create coherence from dissonance for your own self, and see how that helps to balance and activate all aspects of your life, right? So some of the key takeaways of this workshop are going to be emotional regulation, enhanced intuitive abilities, deep meditative and energy practices. We are going to be learning things like cord cutting. We're going to be learning things like inner child healing. We're going to be talking about things like grounding. And these are the things which we are going to do for each chakra individually, and then come together as a whole to align everything together. And the workshop structure is, this is a 3-session workshop with a +1 hand-holding session that we will do after 3 sessions. And each session, we are going to go into details. As I said, the first session will be about the first 3 lower chakras, which are more to do with our physical interactions, with our social interactions. And we are going to talk about, meditations and techniques and balancing ways of them. We're going to talk about the 4th and the 5th chakra, and they have very intense practices to balance and heal them. And the moment we heal our solar plexus and heart chakra, we also heal the other people we are working with. So you could be having a boss that is so difficult to deal with, that you're having problems with. Now, the moment you work on yourself, on your solar plexus and your heart chakra, you will be amazed how your boss will also get impacted positively, and your relationship with that person will enhance much more, right? So that's the power of energy work. We talk about heart coherence. We'll talk about the electromagnetic force of our heart field. We'll talk about mantra chantings, and we're going to be doing a session 3 where everything will be brought together along with chakra 6 and 7. We're also going to be talking about something which is beyond the 7th chakra, which is a few inches above us, which is our gateway to the universal field. So we are going to be talking about that, and also the other aspects like hand chakras and how we can do this golden ball meditation for not just for us, for other people. So it's going to be a very intense 3-session workshop, plus 1 session where we are going to be doing a follow-up, a hand holding. And with that, I'm going to give it back to Ashish to take it forward to explain anything further. And if you have any questions, or if you have any thoughts about all that I've shared, feel free, please, to, while he's going ahead, to ask me or to share in the chat.
Wow, what an amazing presentation, Dr. Nupur. And friends, we would be happy to hear from you. What is it that you would like to share about what you have heard from Dr. Nupur? We have got some awesome feedback. People have been sending me messages that this is an amazing session, but we'll be happy to hear from you if there is something you would like to share. Very nice. Thank you. Thank you, Ruchi. Thank you, Sini. Thank you, friends. So let me share with you that this workshop is one of the best investments that you can make in yourself. And this is not something which I say, this is something which is said by Warren Buffett, who is amongst the top 10 richest men in the world. And he started his career by selling newspapers on a cycle. So, from that level, he has risen to be worth more than $100 billion, which is like almost 8 lakh crore rupees, just by investing in his own learning and development. And when we talk about investing, it is not investing money. I think for the people who are here, what is more important is investment of time, because we are all very busy people. And that is why we are very conscious to ensure that you get high return on time invested. We are very conscious that you bring this time to us, and we need to ensure that you get adequate value out of these sessions. We have planned 3 sessions for you on 19th, 26th, and 3rd of July, plus 1 hand-holding session, which will be announced on 3rd of July. And the timings will be from 4 to 5:30 p.m. This is on Sunday. So we find that people are very comfortable joining the sessions on Sunday. This is a sweet spot for many people. So we have kept that in mind while scheduling this session. And for action takers, only for those who want to act and take their life to the next level, we have this offer, which is while we are in the call today, which is for 3 sessions and 1 bonus hand-holding session, rupees 4,999, and for 3 sessions, 1 bonus and 1 coaching session, 7,499 rupees. This goes up after 6 p.m. today. So if you act now, you get the benefit of this prize. You can Google Pay or Paytm at this number 9871448227. And I am now preempting some of the questions that we commonly get from people. What if I'm not able to attend all the sessions? The recording will be available for all the sessions, and this will be shared with you. So in case you miss any session, don't worry about it. And anyway, you can make up for it by in question answers in the coming session or in the bonus session. Also, sometimes people wonder, yeah, Dr. Nupur is good, the content is good, but how do I know whether this will work for me or not? And for that reason, we are introducing a money back guarantee. In case any point of time you feel that this program is not working for you, we will refund your money, no questions asked. We are not doing this for money, actually. This is more to benefit people, more to help people align with their energy, which helps them lead healthier, happier, and wealthier lives. All our programs are guaranteed to improve your quality of life. That's the guarantee we provide for our programs, and we offer money back, like I mentioned earlier. In case you have any questions, we'll be happy to take. Once you have remitted the payment, please share the screenshot on the chat so that we can welcome you in the session to the program. And this is something which I realized myself, that the time that everybody has is the same. Everybody, Mukesh Ambani has got 24 hours, Narendra Modi has got 24 hours, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, everybody has got 24 hours. But the difference is the energy we bring to those 24 hours. And if we can increase the energy that we bring to those 24 hours, the amount of results that we can achieve is unimaginable. You got to try it to believe it. It just keeps better. It just keeps getting, it's a virtuous circle, which just keeps getting better and better and better. So please take this step and, walk on this path, and I wish you this rocket-like success in your days to come. Wishing you happy relationships, wishing you good health, wishing you a lot of wealth, sharing the, the offer for the one last time, 4,999 for 3 sessions, and 7,499 with 1 coaching session. And after 6 p.m., or maybe this is already, maybe after 15 minutes, this goes up by 500 rupees. So that's the offer for action takers. You can take a screenshot of this number and remit the fees. And we now open this up for question and answer.
Dr. Nupur?
Hello, hi.
Hi. I just want to check one thing. I think in the first slide, there are some triangles, moon, and circle. Yeah, I think it's in the first slide. So could you please explain me what is that meant for?
Yes, I will actually put it up so that everybody can have a look at it as well. So these are the signs and symbols that have been shared by the people who have researched the chakras. So that's the symbols that we have received from them. And also each chakra has a vibration that comes across, like the Mooladhara has lam, and that is a vibration that they associate when they are checking this on the machines. So that is the alphabet why they write that, right? And because these chakras appear as vortices, and vortices have got very lotus petal-like look, it's energy, whirlpools of energy. That's why all of them appear in this way. And sometimes because of, like suppose we talk about Manipura, and a lot of times they have said that these, or it's also the solar plexus. So that is the rum is the vibration. It appears like rum, that's the vibration. That's why the alphabet rum is there. And all of them have got flowery looks because of the energy vortices are in that multiple whirlpools. And like they say that most of the chakras are actually triangles. And even the heart chakra has got 2 triangles which are connected together. If you've seen the Star of David, because the heart chakra, actually they see that it is a bridge between the lower 3 chakras, which are existential chakras, and the upper 3 chakras, which are the spiritual chakras. And heart is a bridge. So it's like the Star of David, where the two things come together in triangles attracted like that. And that's why. So they're trying to simulate the context of each chakra along with the way they have been perceiving it vibrationally, and along with the sounds and the colors. That's why these symbolic representations have come about.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for that question.
Friends, we have these awesome sessions every Saturday. The next session is next Saturday at 6:15 p.m. Not at 5 p.m., but 6:15 p.m. Please make a note of that. And we are having Mr. Sandeep Nigam, who is from IIT Kanpur and who's an Yogacharya and a mindfulness expert. And he's going to talk about not asana. We normally, when we think of yoga, we think of asana, but he's going to talk about mindfulness. If you would like to join our community and receive updates about our upcoming sessions, please click on the link below and join our community. And anybody else has any question there were some comments which were there initially about the intention you have for the session. So we'd like to hear from you if those intentions have been met. Or if you have any questions, we'll be happy to take them.
Ashish, I can see a question by Koti Reddy. Apologies if I'm not able to pronounce your name rightly. Will all the chakras be in sync and activated in these 3 sessions? That's our intention, to actually activate, balance, and harmonize all the chakras, and not just do it during these 3 sessions, but give you the powerful tools and techniques by which you can do it in your own life going forward, because life will continue to happen to us. Sometimes maybe a year down the line, I may face a very, very challenging situation in a different aspect of my life. But once I have understood the tools and techniques to balance each chakra, and not just each chakra independently, but also in harmony with other chakras, and then in harmony with the universal life force energy. Remember the toroidal field, right? So that's what our intention is, that yes, these 3 sessions are meant for all of that, and then to make you very self-sufficient. Thank you for that question, Koti. Ready?
Thank you. I have one question. Now, going by the characteristics, I feel all the chakras, I got one parameter, have an issue. So does it mean that all the chakras are having a misalignment thing, or how is it interrelated?
So as I understand your question correctly, you are saying that if I have a particular challenge, then does that mean that chakra is only out of balance and not all other chakras?
No, not that. Going by the description of the chakras, I have an issue with each and every chakra. So does it mean there's imbalance in all the chakras?
Yes, and that's not just true for you, sir. That's true for all of us.
Okay.
To some extent, and more extent, we have imbalances in all the chakras. Right? Okay. For us, maybe for me, it could be that my sacral chakra is more challenged than yours. So the degree of variability varies from individual to individual, but all of us have imbalances in all chakras, unless we are very, very deep meditators and very, very profound yogic practitioners. And that's why the intention is to do these practices and bring them a part of our life. Exactly, daily routine.
Oh, thank you.
Friends,
I have one more question, Dr.
Request you to raise your hands using the reactions button so that we can take your questions one by one. And also please put on your camera when you're asking the question. That will help us identify you. And we are also sharing in the link a feedback form. Please, it will take you less than 30 seconds to fill out the feedback form. Please fill out the feedback form. We appreciate your feedback. Yes, sir. Please go on.
Yeah, the practices regularly we do. So how long those practices are going to?
Who am I speaking with here?
Yeah, this is Koti Reddy. Sorry.
Hello. Yes.
Yeah. Hi.
So the practices that you are going to be doing, some of them are going to be more intense depending on which chakra you feel there is a misalignment for. And maybe a couple of or 2 to 3 times of that practice will help you. So like somebody has a very deep-seated trauma in childhood. They've had an abuse in childhood. Now what happens is now we have become adults, but that part of us, which is we call the inner child, is still very traumatized because of the abuse that happened, and the child never healed from that. It may take you 2 to 3 times to practice inner child healing in your heart chakra. And once you have done that, that means you don't have to revisit that because that aspect has been dealt with. So that is all right. But certain things like grounding, like root chakra, our root chakra has a tendency to, unless we are doing the practices almost as a routine, or maybe at least 3 to 5 times a week, if you have a tendency to be very heady, if by personality you're a person who is more in the mind space rather than in the body space or in the now, then for you, maybe the practice of grounding will be a daily routine practice, right? So it all depends on the individual person, and you'll be able to diagnose yourself and know, because I will be in consultation with you for 3+1 sessions, which should be your key takeaway practice and which is a practice that you need to perform more regularly.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your question. We are here for a couple of minutes more. So if you have any questions, we'll be happy to take them.